The Oracle Network.
Oh, good call. A little fan up in here.
Yeah, got a HEPA filter.
Nice. HEPA filter.
You
So
know,
fancy.
for allergies or in case the state catches on fire again. Either way.
Good to have because it's probably going to happen again.
Probably going to happen and ruin our birthdays again.
Don't do it.
All your birthdays always get ruined.
I guess this is coming out after the 4th of July, but don't do it.
Oh yeah, don't start our state on fire with fireworks.
Just
God
don't do
damn
it. Have burgers and
retroactively
beer.
hunt you. God, that's like, oh, almost gives me hives thinking about it.
No one has anything funny left to say.
Do I need to look up a dad joke?
No, actually.
Hello, friends.
Hey guys, welcome. I'm Abby,
And I'm Shawna.
and this is Anxious,
And Afraid,
the podcast.
where we talk about scary, spooky things.
Conspiracies and true crimes.
And all the weird stuff in between.
Yeah, welcome. If it's your first time, hey. If it's not, hey.
Hey.
Yeah. So, Sean, I have a question for you.
Let's get into it.
Okay. Did anything make you anxious or afraid this week? Or maybe the last couple of weeks because we took a little break there.
Yeah, it has been a little while. The last week and a half has been just the most stressful for me. I won't get into all of it. It's for many reasons.
Yes.
But one of the
family is always fun, and
family's always fun. Traveling is always fun. Drama.
Traveling with
work.
family. Always
Oh
fun.
my God, the car drive. I can't. Okay. Sorry, Dad. It's not good.
Kurt. Oh, I've been in the car. I've been in the car on multiple occasions with your parents. It's always an experience.
I've only heard about it like once or twice tops.
You literally can't. You won't be able to deal with it. And every time he's like, "I'm not a bad driver," and I'm like, "Oh my God!" Like he defends himself to the death, and I'm like, "No."
You sent me a snap of that man crossing his arms while he had. I've never seen another human being do this. He had his arms crossed, like wrist over wrist, and was holding the steering wheel
On the top of the steering wheel.
On the top that way. I was like, what the fuck? I've never seen anyone do that.
It's so I sent that to like my friend Morgan too, and she's like, "Oh, I've done that," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry." But my dad's ridiculous. Yeah, there's all of that. But
He's hilarious.
He's hilarious. Love him to pieces. Hope he's doing great. Love you, Dad.
Love you.
Love you. But I did want to like talk about. So we had this crazy heat wave, which is why one of the reasons why we had to take this break because screw this heat.
It was like 110 degrees.
We're in the Pacific Northwest people, and we are not acclimated to 115 degree weather.
We are a wet people. We are a cold and green people.
And not all of us have AC, unfortunately. That's like a luxury, not a right. So
yeah, it's not like the South where it's just like common sense to have it.
right.
Yeah, only some people have it.
And the most heartbreaking thing I've ever had to deal with was, and I'm like, so my apartment's like somewhat partially underground. Like you go down 5 steps and then there's like this little porch area that's kind of like level to the ground. And well, like the day before was like on a Sunday, we noticed like this poor helpless baby bird who was just like on the verge of death because it was heat exhausted and it fell out of its nest and it was underneath our stairs. So it was just like bobbing his head down slowly like it was falling asleep. And I was already on the verge of tears just looking at this little helpless thing. But luckily on that day, since it was Sunday and we had the car, we were able to I actually grabbed it because it was just so weak and put it in a box, and we immediately tried to save it at the Raptor Center, which I've never done before. So I'm glad we were able to save one.
Yeah,
or at least I'm hoping they saved it.
I wouldn't have thought to go to the Raptor Center. I don't think
We caught them right before they closed, so it's it was crazy.
Dramatic.
And then the next day on a Monday, where I didn't have a car, I was just working home by myself, we noticed that there was a baby bird trapped in our little underground porch area and was just chirping and hopping, all scared.
Aww.
And I had nothing I could do about it. I had to work all day. I had no car.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking. So I put out this little dish of water for it to splash in sometimes, and it would be cute and I'd splash in it. And then I think it was like after my lunch break, then all of a sudden I'm hearing 2 chirpy birds. And I'm like,
God.
excuse me. And then there's another one.
Why are you guys so attracted to my porch?
Oh my God. So I had 2 baby birds who were terrified, like hopping around my porch all day long. I'm just heartbroken the whole time. And my cats are just watching them all day long.
Yeah, like licking their lips. They're like, they have like a fork and a knife.
There was one
Just
point
ready.
where it even like one of them hopped over like to the door and just was like chirping at me.
Oh God.
So heartbreaking.
They're like, are you my mom now? And you're like, ah.
And I just was so sad and helpless. I had to wait until Chad got home to catch them because I just couldn't catch them. I just couldn't. And then we like released them back in the bushes where we saw like another one hopping around.
Oh Lord.
But then sadly we saw one that like died. Aww. And it was just like, it's just so heartbreaking because I've tried calling other rescue places. They were closed, they were at capacity, or they're like an hour away.
Yeah.
It's like seems impossible to actually rescue animals.
Well, they're like, they tell you not to interfere too. So then you feel like an idiot for doing anything. And you're like, I'm just trying to be nice. And they're like, well, you did it wrong.
True.
Like, fuck.
Yeah.
I fucked it up worse.
I know. They kind of made me feel that way when I like dropped the bird off at the Raptor Center. Like, oh, did they tell you to like leave it alone or whatever, if it's nesting or whatever they call it? With I don't know anything about birds. And I was like, no, this was like on the verge of death, so I just was told to bring it. And like obviously the other ones were on the verge of death because they were hopping and chirping just fine, but they were clearly, they couldn't fly and they were away from their nest. So I'm just like, this is not good.
Well, I hope all those birds banded together and made like a little baby bird gang, and maybe they're okay now.
I hope so. I don't see anymore. I don't hear anymore.
Like strength in numbers.
But that was the saddest thing I had to, like, all day long I had to watch those little things be sad.
That's traumatizing.
It's just so sad.
I'm
Anyways.
sorry.
Oh, thanks.
It's terrible.
I never thought I'd have to deal with that kind of thing.
Dude, nature's brutal.
Nature is brutal.
Man.
Fuck the heat, man.
Your cats are no compassion. They're just like,
They're just cackling at the window
they're
and clawing
waiting.
at it.
I know. They're like,
Get me at it. Get me at
that's
it.
a snack. That's a snack.
Yeah. Anyways, at least I saved one. What about you?
Yeah, you saved one. You know, good. I feel like I haven't had any like anything crazy, but I have been working a lot in my yard, and
That's impressive. Especially in this heat. And I can't do yard work.
well, I don't go out when it's like super, super hot, but I do have a pretty sick blister.
Ooh.
And I have these like, they're Crocs. Okay. But I like wear them in the garden or whatever.
Sure.
They're like clogs. They're not the gross Crocs. They don't look as ugly as, they don't have the big holes.
No one's judging. Especially if it's for gardening. It's fine.
Okay. So I'm not wearing any socks with them, and I'm out there, and I have like, I'm weeding, and then I look down and I see a spider running for me.
No.
And then it ran
No.
into my shoe with my bare foot.
You're making me so grossed out right now.
I don't know if I've ever moved that fast. I like kicked that shoe away from me. I kicked it clean off.
How big was it? Big? Because
It wasn't huge. It wasn't huge. Thank goodness. It was like a healthy medium, but
Still not okay.
bigger than I would like. And I definitely don't want it in my shoe with my bare ass foot.
No.
So that was
Violating.
traumatizing.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
That's why I don't do outside things.
Honestly, I think I see so many spiders now that it's kind of desensitizing me to them. Because, like, I've been, like, weeding. Our yard was, like, literally a jungle. And so, like, pulling all these weeds, there's just so many bugs and so many earwigs. And earwigs really creep me out.
Oh, yeah.
I hate them.
Not chill.
They're, like, spiky cockroaches. I don't like it.
Ugh.
So, yeah, I'm a little less grossed out by bugs now, I think.
Good for you.
But not when I'm inside. Like, if I see anything inside, it still disturbs me greatly.
Yeah, because this is our space. Your space is the outside space. So if you come in, you're dead.
You have all of the outside space. Can I have this? But yeah, also Michael got me addicted to this game called 2048. Have you heard of that one? No. I guess it's not a new game. It's been around, but I'd never heard of it. And it's just like, I mean, our listeners probably know what I'm talking about, but it's like this like numbers game where there's a grid, and you have numbers, and you're supposed to move them to combine them, and you're trying to get your tile up to 2048.
Oh,
So you
it's
have to
kind of like a puzzle-y
yeah,
number
you have to like
game?
shift them around, and every time you shift one gets added. It always starts at 2, so you combine 2 and 2 to make 4, combine 4 and 4 to make 8. So then you're just trying to work your way up.
I see.
So I was, he told me about that game on Monday.
Uh-oh.
And he was like, yeah, it's just this like stupid game or whatever everyone's addicted to. And I was like, I'm not going to sound dumb.
I'm better than that.
I'm like, I'm not going to. This is like literally the story of my life. Every time I'm like, I'm not going to get addicted to that. I like pull it up as he's talking, and like 10 minutes later, I can't hear anything he's saying. And I'm just like,
engulfed in it.
Fully engrossed.
That's hilarious.
So I played it a lot this week. Probably didn't talk to many people or look at social media at all because I was mostly playing this game. But I did beat it last night. So
Nice.
that's pretty satisfying.
That kind of sounds like, I mean, it's probably nothing similar, but like Minecraft, or not Minecraft. What am I saying? I don't know those things. It's the stupid little like old computer game that has like the bombs. Do you
the
know
minefield or
what is it?
Minesweeper.
Minesweeper.
I was so proud that I could like accomplish a medium one of those.
I
instead
didn't
of a
ever
small.
understand that game.
Oh, I finally learned it, and I was so proud of myself that I beat a medium size grade or whatever.
I would just click around and always lose. I'm like, I don't understand this game, and I'm done. I'll go play solitaire.
I played a lot of that, and I played a lot of Tetris, but I also got some Minesweeper in me too. But
well, if you want a game it's not mind numbing, but it's like it's kind of soothing because it's.
yeah,
I think you would like it if you need some.
it sounds like
to
one of
suck up
those
your
nice like focusy games where you're just so focused
Totally.
on it. Yeah,
Yeah. So
Nice.
that's a game if anyone wants a new addiction.
cool.
But I did beat it, so I feel as though I've maybe passed on the curse and I'm passing it to you now.
Uh-oh. But I don't have those things, so that's good.
Until you beat it and then you pass the curse to someone else. Michael still has his curse because he hasn't beaten it yet. So that's kind of
Ooh,
embarrassing
you beat him
for him.
before? Oh, you beat him to it.
He doesn't,
I don't even care.
he
Sounds
doesn't
like
like
you
to
do.
talk about it.
I know that tone.
Yeah. It's fun.
I don't. I don't even care.
Okay. Yep. That's all I had.
Cool. You ready for a story?
Cool.
It's my turn.
So ready?
Okay, so I've had this one on my list for a while, and I've done it almost a couple of times, but then always switched because I was like, no.
I know. You're insane.
I know, I'm so bad.
She waits until the last second. I'm just like, I can't with you. I would have hives.
I literally didn't even start the notes until last freaking night, which is a new record.
Who
of
are you?
procrastination.
I know. I was like, I don't think you've ever actually waited until the night before. Like, that is
No.
balls to the walls insane.
It's because this week has been like so completely stressful and draining for me. Like I almost had no choice. I physically couldn't start it.
Like, I can't even touch my laptop.
Yes. And this is why I kind of asked you if you would be like in past episodes before, if you would be interested in NDE stories.
Yes.
And this is my top one.
Hell yes. Oh my God. Okay. Because I did not watch this show.
And now you're going to be able to, because now I'm doing this episode, and then I
Yes.
will give you permission to start watching it.
Yes. The surviving, what is it? Surviving death?
Surviving Death. I will mention it many times.
Okay, good. I really want to watch that show now.
Oh, it's good. I'm excited for you to now be able to watch it because
Yay!
I now give you permission.
Yay.
Okay, so I am doing, yes, the NDE story of, which is near-death experience, by the way, of Dr. Mary Neal.
Okay.
She's a doctor, y'all.
Ooh, doctor. She got that certificate on the wall.
Many. Okay, so before I go into depth into her specific story, I have some like information and some facts about just near-death experiences.
Lay down those guidelines.
Okay.
Get the groundwork down.
I'm giving you the basics.
Yeah.
Okay, so near-death experience, or what I'll refer to it as NDE, much shorter, is a profound personal experience associated with death or impending death, which researchers claim can share similar characteristics. Okay. They have categorized around like 3 main types. There's like kind of the strictly out-of-body experience, where you're usually like looking upon your body. Then there's like type 2, the mystical, I'm in the white light, kind of more
Like you're in a different plane.
trippy kind of
Okay.
experience. And then there is some, and it is more rare, but there are distressing types where you would experience like anguish and distress.
Oh, no.
It's not as fun. But I'm not going to go into that. We're going to go into the fun ones.
So don't look at that scary subject over there.
Okay, so there is a list of common traits that have been reported in NDEers.
Love a good list.
It's a good list. And so here are some of the common characteristics that a lot of these reports or stories have.
Okay.
A sense or awareness of being dead, like you're aware of it. The sense of peace, well-being, and painlessness.
Oh, that's nice.
A sense of removal from the world.
Oh, okay.
So you're not like on this plane of existence anymore. There's dimensions and shit. It gets weird, people.
Love it.
Okay. So also the out-of-body experience, the perception of one's body from an outside position, sometimes even observing medical professionals performing resuscitation efforts.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the ones you hear about a lot.
Yeah, there's like good stories. There's a famous one where like this lady, which you'll see in the first episode of Surviving Death as well, but she was able to describe the tools and like the language of the doctors, which you should not be able to hear or know about. So that is like when people say those type of details, it's like, okay, that's weird. So I love that kind of shit.
You're like, doctor, tuck your tag in. Flies down.
That would be you if you had an NDD. Like you'd be like the weird
whispering in his ear. Your flies down.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so there's also like the tunnel-like experience.
Okay. The white light at the end.
Yeah, or like the sense of moving upward through a passageway type thing.
Okay.
There's rapid movement towards or a sudden immersion in powerful light or being of light, which can communicate telepathically, of course, because we don't have bodies.
Right. Your soul doesn't have a mouth?
No. It's like these lights, but then they can also communicate with you. You just know things.
Cool.
So there's that. There's an intense feeling of unconditional love and acceptance, which is great. We don't have that here.
Mom.
The encountering of multiple beings of light doesn't have to be just one.
Okay, ghost party.
I do mention party. But yeah, the possibility of also them being reunited with their like deceased relatives, possibly. Receiving a life review, commonly referred to as seeing one's life flash before their eyes.
Oh, I thought you were like, you get like a paper of like the review of your life, and you're
so
like,
you get a
B+.
B+.
Okay.
I went B+.
Yeah,
but
I guess I'm glass half empty. I like that we both gave ourselves a B. It's above average, but it's not excelling.
You could have done more charity work, but it's fine.
You know, you did DoorDash a lot, and it's not good for the planet.
Oh, that's funny.
But you saved a baby bird. I think you have
good karma.
Yeah, good karma for sure. Rack that up.
But I do feel like some people have stories of like, because of that podcast I also listened to, which I'll mention, but like when you have like your quote unquote life review, you can kind of see how others perceived you. Like if you took an action and maybe that hurt someone's feelings, you'll be able to feel their feelings, which is also terrifying.
I already do that like by myself. I don't need someone to, I already imagine all of these feelings I've hurt.
Yeah, like the life review isn't just like your perspective. You feel all at the same time everyone's perspective of your life and how you affected them. Isn't that overwhelming to think about?
Yes.
Everything's overwhelming.
I don't want that. Unless they're good.
Right.
You're like, God, she's a real jackass.
Okay, so there's a few more. There's also a sense of approaching a border or like a decision by oneself or others to it's like you shall not pass, like you must return to body.
You shall not. Yeah, okay.
And this is often accompanied by the reluctance to return to Earth or to your body.
Oh, you're like, I like it better out here, actually.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back.
Like, this is way cooler and pain-free, and I'd rather stay.
That thing has back pain down there.
Yeah. There's a sudden finding of oneself back in one's body, usually kind of like jolty feeling, I think.
Yeah, like you get just slammed back down into your body.
Yeah. And then also a connection to cultural beliefs held by the individual. So I'll kind of explain that as like, so obviously the easiest one to think about is if someone's Christian, if they're hardcore religious, then they'll perceive like, oh, they were seeing Jesus or God. But if like you're a different religion, I don't know, saying like Muslim or something, you would perceive like Allah or that God. It's like kind of whatever you're comfortable with.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. Like if I wouldn't, totally.
Yeah. I think it's like a good way to ease into that experience. You're like, okay, well, you're familiar with this image of Jesus, so
Right, we're gonna make
I'll
you
make him white
comfortable.
for you.
I airbrushed him white just not to disturb you.
Just so you're okay with it.
Just like that picture you see in church all the time. I can't even tell you how many pictures of white Jesus I saw in my childhood.
That really didn't become like, I was not aware. I'm like,
Me
oh, wait,
neither.
no, Jesus should be not white.
Did not think it was weird at all until like you're like, no, he was not white.
Especially if you're claiming the places where he was born, those people are not white.
Yeah, he like the pictures I always saw. He was like this airbrushed. He had like sandy
Beautiful
brown
blue
hair.
eyes.
Yeah. Like, what?
I mean, some people. It's fun stuff.
Fun.
Okay.
White Jesus. Okay.
And Santa Claus.
And Santa Claus.
Okay, so NDEs have been recorded or like talked about since ancient times, y'all. This ain't some just new age shit. Through the centuries, and now that technology and medicine and CPR have been coming such a long way, we are now having like more of the ability to bring people back to life.
Yeah.
So I feel like we can hear a lot more of these stories. Mm-hmm. The oldest known medical report of a near-death experience was written by an 18th century French military doctor.
Okay.
So that was a long-ass time ago. Mm-hmm. As of 2005, according to Wikipedia, 95% of the world's cultures are known to have made some mention of NDEs.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's all over the world, people.
Yeah, so you can't just say it's because like of a cultural background.
Right. Like it does not discriminate against like age, race, religion. It's everyone has been talking about this.
Human experience.
Exactly, y'all. We're all human. I wish we like knew that more.
We're all the same on the inside.
We all bleed red. So these experiences were also popularized by the work of psychiatrist of Raymond Moody. He's like the celebrity of
What a great psychiatrist. Last name.
Moody.
Moody. Amazing.
Yeah, he is really famous in this world of NDEs and past lives and all this stuff. So he coined the term near-death experience in 1975 as like the umbrella term for all of the different elements that come with NDEs.
Okay.
I think it was used beforehand, but since he was famous, he gets the credit.
It's like, was he white?
For sure.
Then he gets the credit.
He gets credit. Okay, so if you're a nerd like me about all this kind of stuff, I highly recommend listening to, I've mentioned this before in my past life episodes, but it's called The Past Lives Podcast. That's literally the title of the podcast. It can get confusing, I understand. It's with Simon Bown. He doesn't just interview people who claim to have past lives, but also NDEs and anything supernatural in between when it comes to afterlife stuff.
So cool.
And like he every episode is an interview. It's not just like him talking about it. So it's really interesting to hear the stories from those people.
Yeah, and all kinds of different people too.
Yeah, a lot of people are like professors and doctors too. It's like credible kind of people. I love it. I also super enjoyed watching Expedition Unknown, The Search for the Afterlife, and that is with Josh Gates, which is found on Discovery Plus, which I always mention.
I know.
It's my new guilty pleasure.
Yep.
He does like all the other like travel shows. He's very famous on there. But yeah, he did one on the afterlife. It was super interesting. I loved it a lot. He even goes and speaks with doctors who are trying to do some research on this because, you know, some people actually care to like know information.
Some people are curious.
Some people. And it's cool because it's like in this specific hospital or whatever in their surgical room, because also I feel like a lot of NDEs happen like during surgeries, you know? But like the doctors in that room have like different pictures set up like on very high like shelves or something, so it only can be seen with an aerial view if you're truly having an out-of-body above experience.
Yeah, or if you're like tall and standing or something.
But like specifically high enough so only you can see it if you are a ghost up above.
Right, where you wouldn't see it because like when you're wheeled into a surgery room, you're already laying down on a table. So it's
That's
like,
also true.
You wouldn't have been able to see it because you're laying down on a table.
Yeah, and I don't think they're like telling the patients that these exist.
Right.
Like look for these pictures. Or at least like, hey,
if you
I have
almost die. Tell me what's up there.
Yeah, like, so we have some pictures. We're not going to tell you what, but let us know what it is. But that's kind of like a cool experiment. I mean,
Yeah.
it's cool that someone's trying to do some research on it, which I find really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, and he also, Josh Gates in that show, speaks to a handful of survivors, and they chat about their experiences, and one of them, of course, is Dr. Mary Neal.
Yes.
She is, like, her story, I think, is really famous because it's pretty credible, or she is a credible person, I should say. Also, the very first time I heard of this story was when I watched the first episode of Surviving Death on Netflix. I now, like I said before, urge you to watch this now.
Yeah.
I give you permission.
Woo.
It's a really interesting show. I think I mentioned before, like, it kind of gets weird because, like, some of the episodes focus on mediums, which I love mediums. I believe in some mediums. But there's also, like, physical mediums, which is weird. Like, even for someone like me who's very open and believes a lot of this kind of stuff, I was like,
even for me,
that's a little weird. Like, you're using different voices because different spirits are coming into you.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird. And ectoplasm stuff, I'm just like, that's hard for
it's a
me.
harder pill to swallow.
Yeah. So there is some of that, but all of the stuff in between is very interesting. I still very highly recommend that show.
Okay.
I really want to know your thoughts about it.
I am excited to
So I'm
watch it.
giving you homework now, actually, to watch it by a certain time.
Wow, thanks.
Just kidding. Okay. So, Dr. Mary Neal is a board-certified orthopedic spine surgeon.
But
That's a big deal.
orthopedic.
Am I saying that right? Because I know that makes me
Orthopedic, like
think foot.
shoes?
It says ortho. It's ORTHOPAEDIC. Orthopedic? Pedic. It's orthopedic, right? But it's a spine surgeon.
She's a spine surgeon.
She's legitimately a spine surgeon, which is gross because spines are gross.
Did you look it up, Michael?
No.
Oh.
Yes.
It's like, why are you typing that?
None of your business.
He's shopping on Amazon.
Orthopedic surgery is a branch of surgery concerned with the conditions involving this musculoskeletal system.
Okay.
So it's bones.
Okay.
Okay.
Bone surgeon.
Yeah,
She
I don't-
likes the bones.
It's the spine bones, the most important bones.
Scary.
So that's very intense. I love her story because she's a very highly educated doctor. I feel like typically doctors do not believe or even like to speak of this kind of stuff. It is not their jam.
Right. Well,
they're-
very scientific.
Of course, and as they should be. Like, I get it. They're very science-based. They like to see proof. I totally understand that. But also don't be mean to people if they tell you they went to heaven and back. Just don't be mean.
Say hi to grandma for me.
Be like, that's very interesting. You're not crazy. It's fine.
Cool.
But nurses, on the other hand, I feel like they have a very different experience because they're actually around the death of patients much more regularly.
Yeah, they're around patients more regularly.
Yes. So I feel like nurses have a lot more stories and a lot more open belief to it because I think they are just like,
Hear
imagine
about
being
it more, yeah.
Yeah, imagine just constantly seeing people die and just weird things.
I can't, like, my family members, some of them work in, like, elder care, and they just, like, talk about these people they take care of that pass away, and I'm like, I could not do it. I don't think I could.
Yeah, I'd be way too sad.
That would
It
be-
takes a special person.
Yeah,
For
totally.
sure. Okay, so Dr. Neal was born and raised in Michigan and graduated from the University of Kentucky. And that was before attending the UCLA Medical School.
Okay.
She completed her orthopedic surgery training at the University of Southern California, and that was after which she lived in both Sweden and Los Angeles while she underwent 1.5 years of specialty training for spinal surgery.
Oh, it's cool. Get to go to Sweden.
Right? They know what's up. And this was all before becoming the director of spine surgery at USC.
Shoot, girl.
I mean, this
Get it.
top of the top girl.
She's crushing.
She is crushing it.
But
And
not
then-
spines.
No.
Those she's fixing.
Don't crush spines. Then 5 years later, she left the university and started her own private practice.
As she should.
And so I'm like, credentials, bitch. This bitch has them, okay?
Receipts, verified.
Exactly. Okay, so now we're getting into her story.
Oh God, that means she's gonna somehow almost die. Okay.
Yeah, get ready.
Oh geez, I forgot about that part.
Spoiler alert.
Something's gonna happen to her.
Okay, so we are in the year of 1999.
Oh my God, Y2K
Yes.
fever is happening.
We're 9 years old. Dr. Mary Neal went on a kayaking trip
Oh geez.
with her husband in a remote area of Chile. Or Chile.
Ooh. Okay. So she's not even in the U.S. anymore.
No. And this is 1999, so it gets crazy. So there is a section of the river that they were going to go on that is very well known for its beautiful waterfalls.
Oh no. I don't like this. I don't like where this is going.
Are you feeling anxiety? Because you should.
This is like this is a big fear of mine, I think.
It is mine too.
Oh God, so many movies have just made me very scared of what's about to happen.
Oh, and then like the episode like does a really good reenactment to like bring you on the river. So it's like you feel it.
It's like well produced. Okay.
Yeah, it is. And so this river is very strong. So I assume that like only professionals or like very seasoned kayakers like would take on this river.
Yeah,
I assume.
and like kayaking, you're like your legs are trapped in that thing, right? So like
Yeah, and you have like that one two-sided paddle.
yeah, I that makes me claustrophobic. If my legs would be trapped in a thing, I would feel like I was gonna drown.
It's gonna get worse. So they were in a group of other kayakers and guides, of course, and they were all about to reach their very first main waterfall. Mary was trying to stay on the softer side of the current when all of a sudden another kayaker made their way in front of her, and they then accidentally got their boat wedged in the entrance of like the quote-unquote softer side of the fall. Is how I understand it. So because now that was blocked,
Oh no.
and Mary was like right there, she was quickly forced to go onto the other stronger current side. And because there's like literally no time to stop or even think,
No.
to everyone's shock, they watch her fly over like the most dangerous part of this waterfall.
Holy shit.
I never want to go over a waterfall.
Michael and I have been like, river rafting before, so I can just like feel what's happening. It's
Yeah,
like,
that one time I
stressing
went
me
with
out.
you and it was like, it's so mellow, but I'm like, it's rough. It's rough.
Oh my God, that was nothing compared to what we did on the snake. It was insane.
Oh, I bet the snake is so much more
like
intense.
a category 4. Is that what it was?
How many categories are there?
5, I think, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't
in
remember.
fucking tents.
That's scary.
And there's like these burly ass dudes with huge poles just like directing you through. I'm like, their job, I couldn't do it.
I mean, I understand like wanting to be on a river if it's calm and whatever, but like, why would you want to go over waterfalls?
People are so into it. It's like a thrill. I mean, it was
is.
very thrilling. It
Of
was
course.
fun, of course, but there was also in the back of my mind like, I might die. Like, I
terrifying.
could die.
So crazy. Okay, so unfortunately, when Mary hits the water, she gets her boat pinned down in the rocks under 8 to 10 feet of strong rushing
Yeah,
water.
Because once you're under, the rest of the water doesn't stop. It just is on top of you.
So she's stuck under 10 feet of water.
Did they say how like high the fall was? Like,
No, I did not get that. But it's a waterfall.
yeah.
So.
I mean, any height would be terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know exactly how far, but I mean, she just knew it wasn't going to be good.
Yeah.
So
Can you imagine the moment going over?
Oh my God. And you have no control over anything.
Free fall.
Oh my God, no. So she describes being able to feel her bones break.
No! Oh no! From the water pressure, like
I just don't like any of this. And she's thinking that she should be screaming right now, but she's underwater.
right.
But even though she can feel her bones breaking, she had this odd rush of calm and didn't feel any sensation of pain or panic. How do you not panic?
Lack of oxygen, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, just
and the no
wild.
pain. I guess that's a blessing. Maybe so much adrenaline.
True.
It just blocks those sensors.
But then you're still feeling like the pressure of your bones breaking.
The fact that you can feel, that's disgusting. And your body's
like you're still aware of just everything happening.
Yeah, your brain's like, I'm going to shut off the pain part, but can't do anything about the other stuff. So sorry.
Gosh, it's so crazy. So she's saying that this is the moment that she felt the most alive, even though this bitch is fucking drowning to death.
Oh my God. Never mind. Oh, I'm not going to ask any more questions.
Our poor peasant minds can't even fathom this kind of shit.
No, I'm...
Clearly, because we're freaking out.
I'm freaking out. Sweating.
Okay, so I'm going to actually give it a break here while we freak out before we continue.
Oh, cool. Okay, welcome back.
Welcome back. So we're back to this horrible event.
Yep.
Of drowning to death, our greatest fear, or one of ours.
On a list of many.
List of fears of how we don't want to die.
There's so many.
Okay, so she is pinned down, and this is awful.
Beneath a waterfall, dear God.
Mm-hmm. But she's calm, oddly, feeling her bones breaking, but not pain.
Okay.
Anyways, she describes being able to feel the sensation of her soul or spirit, whatever you want to call it, peeling away from her physical body and starting to ascend upwards towards the sky.
I wonder what that feels like.
Yeah.
Like, obviously she has an awareness of it, so it has to feel like something.
Right, because that's the whole thing, is that you're still conscious.
It's like when you peel a sticker from the backing.
Well, I guess we won't know until we die. So,
well,
I am okay with not finding out for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's happening. I mean, a lot of the same things that I've listed before. She explained, or experiences in her NDE. She was then immediately greeted by these people, other spirits, beings of light, energy, whatever. Like, our puny human brains don't know, we don't know how to label these things.
Right.
So she's greeted by a bunch of those. She's overwhelmed, she's greeted by them with such overwhelming joy and love and excitement.
Okay.
Kind of like a celebration party of returning home.
Yay.
Ew. So she knows in this experience that she doesn't recognize these souls. They're not familiar to her, but she automatically knows that they were all connected to her life story somehow. Whoa. She describes it as like a great-grandparent that you never got to meet in real life.
Oh.
So that's interesting.
That is interesting.
I do love that.
Yeah.
She claims to also experience the life review, where the flashes of her life...
A+, probably.
Yeah, she's
an
successful.
overachiever.
Right. You've done good, girl.
Like, look at all this community work.
So she does see the flashes of her life, if you will, as they guide her down this beautiful pathway. Everything is covered in millions of flowers.
Ooh, I like it.
I like it a lot too. With such brilliance and glow and every color in the universe that you can even imagine. Like colors that we don't even have here on Earth. Like, can you imagine?
No, I can't imagine a color I've never seen, but I want to.
I want to too.
I want to so bad. I think about that sometimes.
She's even experiencing this intense smell of the aroma of all the flowers. And I like that image.
Yeah, that seems really nice.
Yeah.
That's what I want my yard to look like, but I don't think it's going to get there.
Also, for those who have seen the movie Soul from Pixar,
that's what I keep thinking of.
I keep thinking of that too. Everything's kind of bluish, purpley, and white, and glittery, and pretty, and
everyone's nice,
glorious.
Smells good.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so she also felt the complete shift of time and dimension, of course, describing it as experiencing all of eternity at every second.
Whoa, I don't know how to process that.
Right, we can't because we're puny human brains.
Yeah.
So even though time is clearly not linear in this space dimension, whatever, that's how we humans can only understand it.
Right.
So such a good description.
I mean, yeah, it'd be so hard to explain that. Like, how do you explain that?
It's, yeah, because, like, yeah.
We don't have, like, human terms or concepts to really, like, relate it. So
No.
you just have to kind of make up examples that people will understand.
Which still won't even, like, even touch the surface of
Right.
her experience, I'm sure. Like, we just can't even comprehend it. But do I sound crazy yet?
I'm into it.
Okay, as long as everyone's still into it. Okay, so this pathway was leading up to this beautiful, large, dome-like structure. The pearly gates, if you will.
It's also that movie that we were talking about a few episodes. Is it What Dreams May Come or What Dreams?
Yeah.
Like, that's the vibes I'm getting kind of too.
Yeah, where, like, everything's a painting and beautiful.
Just beautiful. Okay.
Beautiful, sad movie. Okay, so she claims that this place or dimension to be what we'll understand as heaven. Okay. That's what we'll call it.
It's a big dome.
Yeah, it's like a dome-like structure, as she describes it. So she felt completely comfortable and knew this was her home. But at the very same time, she was also able to look back and still see and witness her lifeless body submerged underwater.
The fuck?
How do you experience everything all at the same time?
It's like picture in a picture.
It's so wild.
There's a little picture in the corner. And it's just her body being like forced underwater.
It's
She's
like the corner of the TV screen.
Exactly. She's like, I don't like that one.
That's funny. Okay, so the kayaking crew were trying everything they could to find and reach her.
Yeah, how do you even get to her?
Yeah, they have to immediately, like, get out of their kayaks and then search for her. And, like, I can't even imagine, like, the intense, like, time is a factor here, people.
Yeah, because she's underwater.
Underwater, pinned down. She's not raising back up.
There's no air down there.
But after 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
Girl. Or so, pass by. The rescue mission then starts turning into a body recovery mission.
I don't understand.
You won't, because we don't.
I thought that you died after 15 minutes of oxygen.
It gets even weirder, Abby.
Oh my God, I thought your brain couldn't survive that. Okay.
It shouldn't. As we know it, it shouldn't.
Well, she's a surgeon, so maybe she gave herself like an extra cool spine or something.
Okay, so one of the kayakers ended up seeing Mary's life jacket start going downstream. So they went to attempt to go grab it for something tangible to have, I guess, for like her husband or something. Can you? Oh so
no,
sad.
It like worked off of her while she was down there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
I imagine like the water is still so rough.
Yeah, I mean, it's just pummeling you.
Yeah. But while swimming for the life jacket, they felt themselves hit the side of Mary's body. They were able to yank her out of the water by pulling her from her wrists.
Oh my God. That's lucky.
Mm-hmm. Her body was completely purple, severely bloated.
Oh my God.
And they checked her eyes and they stayed fixed, which is one of the main
dilate. Yeah.
Right, which is the main signs of death as we check it here.
Mm-hmm.
So she was 100% for sure dead.
I would assume that.
I mean, come on.
Her body is bloated. I didn't think that happened when
Just
you were alive
imagining
either.
a purple
I guess it
bloated
does.
body.
But yeah, ew. Oh God.
Gross. Okay. Mary Neal went without oxygen to her brain for a solid 30
Stop it.
minutes.
What?
Y'all.
I don't get it.
30 minutes. Your brain is not breathing. You're not breathing. You're underwater. I don't understand it.
I seriously am so blown away. Like, I don't understand how anyone comes back from that. She had 30 minutes in the afterlife.
But it probably felt like forever.
Or nothing.
Or nothing at all. You're right. Time is crazy.
Oh, dimensions.
Dimensions and shit. Yeah, so the statistics of her survival at that point, 30 minutes without oxygen, is literally 0.
Yeah, like, it literally shouldn't
at 0.
It should not happen.
It should not happen. However, the crew still decided to perform CPR on her to try and get her back.
I mean, that's maybe it's like a final courtesy. They're like, just in case.
I mean, just always try just in case.
But God, after 30 minutes, yeah, I would not even. Okay.
Yeah, clearly we're telling the story, so it's crazy.
Right.
So Mary had a wonderful life back here on Earth. She was clearly very successful in her career. She had a very loving husband and 4 young kids that she loved more than anything.
4.
4, a lot. Ooh. But she felt absolutely no desire to come back.
Sorry, little Timmy, Rebecca, Sammy, and Tim. Did I ever say Tim?
No, you're good. I love how you gave them all names.
Yeah. I'm busy up here.
It's like, no, I'm good. I made it here. Like, so I can't go back, y'all.
Oh, God.
So yeah, no desire to return back or into her body. So at the same time, she was also having the sensation of being held and comforted and that everything was going to be all right. So obviously I wouldn't want to leave that comforting feeling either.
Right. You're like, no, I'm good.
I'm good. Okay. So she explains that, and this is also very weird, but also funny. She explains that each time the rescuers were begging her to take a breath as they performed CPR, she would somehow go back and like take a breath for her body. Mm-hmm. But then she's like, okay, I took one, bye. I'm going back to heaven. Yeah. She's like, it's funny. Like that kind of logic is like, I'm trying to listen to you and follow the rules, but I don't want to come back. I want to stay. So she's like going back and forth. I think that's so funny.
Busy.
Sorry. So yeah, however, she is sadly rejected and was being told that she had more work to do on Earth and had to go back.
Oh, man.
She was actually upset with this and even tried to argue points as to why she'd stay.
Okay, she's an A-type personality for sure. They're like, this is proof that you have some work to do, ma'am.
Like, I don't care if you're like a divine, all-knowing being, but I want to stay here.
I'm going to pull a Karen right now and ask for your supervisor. Where's God? Where's white Jesus? I need him down here.
That's hilarious. Okay, so, unfortunately though, or fortunately, depending how you look at it, she was jolted back into her body.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't know the story if she didn't come back.
Exactly. She opened her physical eyes to completely stunned faces.
Yeah, I can't believe this worked.
Ew, like, and imagine, like, the instant pain you would feel, too.
Oh, God, it would be so painful. And it's like, they're not even using, like, you know, like, the machines. It was, like, CPR, right?
Yeah, they have nothing on them. It's CPR.
I don't understand how CPR brought her back after 30 minutes. It makes no sense to me that they didn't have one of those, what are they called?
Defibrillators?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
This is why this story is bonkers.
I don't get it.
Okay. She had suffered multiple broken bones and multiple torn ligaments.
Oh, God.
In both of her legs. Like,
oh, no.
You were describing how, like, claustrophobic you are with her legs. Well, yeah, her legs were crushed.
Yeah, I don't want them stuck in there. That's
Yeah.
what happened. Oh, God.
Yeah, terrible. So, great. She's back alive.
Oh, God.
But first, how do they then move her body?
Right, they're in the wilderness, right?
Yeah. Secondly, they're still on the side of the river in the middle of nowhere in Chile.
Oh, God, I'm stressed out.
Yeah, they are not at all close to any medical care.
God damn it.
This is really remote area.
That's terrifying.
This is why it's like just even like this story just gets more bonkers of like, no, you should be like absolutely dead, girl.
She could just die from the shock of like the amount of damage done or like go into sepsis. Like
with the pain and stuff. Yeah. So they ended up placing her body on top of one of the boats or kayaks. And then the crew had to then hike and carry her uphill.
Oh my God, this is like Annette Herfkins where they had to carry her through the fucking jungle.
Yeah. Just to even try and find a dirt road somewhere.
Oh my God.
They're just hoping for the best and going along as they go because they don't have a plan. They're like, holy shit.
Yeah, we are definitely freeballing it right now. We have no plan.
No plan.
Hoping for the best.
But also they had no clue what they were going to, like I said, they had no clue what they were going to do once they did find a road. Mm-hmm. Maybe they were going to find somebody with like a horse or like a tractor or something because this is Chile in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, please take this almost dead woman.
I know she looks crazy, but she's alive.
Oh, God.
So the next hurdle was to try and figure out how to then get her to a hospital. Mm-hmm. So this is what's crazy and like miraculous, y'all. So miraculously, when they did find a dirt road, there just happened to be an ambulance
What?
right there.
Stop.
Right place, right time.
What the fuck?
This doesn't happen, y'all.
How?
So
What? I don't understand. This story is insane.
It doesn't make any sense anywhere. So it was as if it was literally waiting for her. Like, that's divine intervention, people.
It's those light beings. They're like, we'll help you out.
Like, we forced you to go back, so we're gonna make it a little bit possible for you to recover.
Do you a solid and give this poor driver amnesia. He's not going to know why he's here. Why am I on a dirt road? How did I get here?
Yeah, and she claims, like, this is 1999 in southern Chile, which, like, that doesn't happen. Ambulances just are rare.
Anyway, yeah. Why are they there?
Yeah. So
Did they ever say?
No.
Oh my God.
It just was there.
What the hell?
Just so crazy. So obviously they took her, put her in the ambulance, and
we were waiting for you.
hey, by the way, okay. Yeah. But even though she was in the ambulance, which is good because they like actually have like medical stuff to help her out, it still took them a number of hours.
Oh no.
Before they could even reach the nearest hospital.
Bumpy ride.
Oh yeah, bumpy ride.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. Ouch, broken bones.
I hope they have some kind of painkillers in there for her.
Give her immediately painkillers,
Just
right?
knock me out.
Right?
Oh God, send me back.
So, I mean, that's like what? Like at least like 2 to 3 hours? Like, because it just said a number of hours, but like.
That was the same thing with Annette Herfkins. Like she didn't get to any kind of medical care for so long.
You're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also remote like area it was so bad.
That's crazy. It's nuts. Okay.
These poor women.
I know. But we survived.
Look at how tough they are.
So strong. Okay, so once she got to the hospital, they did tell her husband that she would likely not survive the night. But of course she did.
Yeah, of course she did.
Because why would she stop here?
Yeah, I got this far.
After many surgeries and months of physical therapy, Dr. Mary Neal was able to finally walk again.
Wow, good for her.
Wow, right?
That's intense.
This is also what's so baffling to me. There also should be like absolute zero chance that if like she were to recover, but she would have to have some sort of brain damage. Your brain went without oxygen for 30 minutes.
It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't happen. She didn't breathe for 30 minutes. So this warrior queen,
Jesus Christ, I don't understand it.
She literally made a 100% recovery.
What?
As if this accident never fucking happened to her.
What the hell?
This shit is impossible, people. I don't get it.
Like, there should be so much damage to her brain and body. Like, I don't understand.
Literally, like, nothing ever happened.
She's got to, like, now at this point feel like, well, okay, I was obviously put on this earth to do something super important.
Oh, yeah.
I would almost feel like a lot of pressure after that.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Like I better live my life
yeah,
now.
like, now I got a A+ extra credit on my life report.
No B+, no B-. Yeah. So before her accident, Mary would label herself as probably culturally Christian. Mm-hmm. So she was raised going to the church, but she was never really spiritually moved by it in any way. Mm-hmm. And then when she had children, she figured it would be best to take them to church because that's what everyone does, I guess. Right. I guess to order to enforce like good morals and whatnot.
Sure.
But Mary Neal was a highly respected doctor, a spine surgeon. She attended all of these different colleges. She was more of a person of science and medicine and logical, rational thinking and reasoning. Mm-hmm. As most doctors are. Yeah. Hopefully. So after experiencing her own NDE, she found it very hard to talk about for a long time.
I mean,
like, and plus
she probably couldn't even describe it.
And this is like 2000s. Like,
yeah,
we're a little bit more woke now, but by then we weren't.
Even now, if you started saying
we're still real bad.
Yeah. Everyone would be like, okay,
you bitch be crazy.
They said your brain wasn't damaged, but
she makes the joke that her kids still like, yeah, you got some brain damage still. I thought that was a cute joke. Okay. So she actually tried really hard herself to debunk her own experience right away.
Yeah, as a medical doctor, she's like, okay, well, clearly something happened.
I need to rationalize this.
While the lights were out.
Yeah. She started her own research. She did anything in her power to read about the brain in order to explain it all away. And she's a doctor, so she has research to like a lot of medical books and shit.
Right.
But she just couldn't. She couldn't rationalize it away.
Oh, man.
Part of her really didn't want the experience to be true at all because of one of the things that one of the spirit beings or whatever warned her about.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, okay. I thought they shouldn't do that.
I know, but apparently they're like, let me give you a little warning here. It was about the impending death of her eldest son, Willie.
Oh, no. That's sad.
Yeah, that's a terrible information to get. Like, oh, no, I don't want my son to die. Like, no one wants to go through that.
Yeah, no parent wants to outlive their kid.
No, it shouldn't happen. So they never explain like how or when that was going to happen, but it would have to be something that she would have to endure. At the time of Mary's accident, her son Willie was just 9 years old. And that's her oldest kid. Mm-hmm. Something in her told her that her son would never get to reach the age of 18.
Oh no, that's so young.
Yeah. So only not that many years left if she thinks he's not going to reach 18.
How would you even like enjoy anything knowing that your kid's going to die?
I mean, constant fear.
Yeah.
Which is what happened to her. She does remember asking like, why her? Why him? Why does this have to happen?
Don't tell me. Like, yeah, because then, yeah, I would rather not know, right?
I'd rather not know, but I don't know. Maybe there was a reason for telling her. I don't know these things. But I guess they relayed the lesson of beauty comes from all things.
Okay, like, you're going to grow.
So, yeah, beauty comes from all terrible things. Yeah, so that's weird and interesting. So this specific detail of her experience, she kept to herself for years and years, fearing alone that each day could literally be her son's last.
Oh my God, she probably had like a weird thing of like, if I say it out loud, it's real.
Right. But also like sad to go through that alone.
Yeah. But like if you tried to tell your spouse that, they'd be like, they'd think you're crazy. Or then they would start feeling like, yeah.
Maybe she didn't want to put that extra burden on anyone.
Yeah.
Ugh, terrible. So right before his 18th birthday, Mary decided to confide in her son the knowledge that she had about this.
Oh my God. She's like, I had to put you in a plastic bubble now. No one's going to see you for another year.
Yeah, I wrote down like, can you imagine your mom like who died and came back telling you, I also heard that you were going to die young.
I'm a creepy death prophet now. Happy birthday.
Like, that's just so awkward. So, I mean, he did like brushed off like, Mom, you're crazy, you're nuts, like whatever, and took the story in stride. His 18th birthday came and went.
He made it.
He made it. So Mary felt that she could start to relax, that maybe his life plan changed somehow.
She's like, sorry, that was embarrassing.
Sorry.
Shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah. But then 2 years went by. Her son Willie was up in the state of Maine at a ski camp. And one day, him and another friend of his decided to go out roller skiing, which I didn't know was a thing, which is pretty much like a dry land form of skiing. So
I thought you said roller skating. I was like,
roller
what?
skiing.
You know what roller skating is, Shawna?
But it's like long ass skates on your feet.
Weird. Roller skiing. Okay, I haven't heard of that either.
Yeah, so that's a thing. So he was doing that on a road with his friend, and a car came along. And somehow the car lost control, was able to miss his friend, but unfortunately hit Willie straight on and killed him instantly.
Oh, damn it. Poor Willie.
So I have like goosebumps right now, but like it happened.
Yeah. I mean, just a little bit later, but it still happened.
I do think, I'm not sure on this, but I feel like after all the things I've listened to, I think they said this was right before his 20th birthday. So he was 19, which really makes like her gut instinct not that far off.
No.
The fact that he still didn't like make it to his 20s or 30s, which would still be tragic.
I know, and maybe just like knowing that he made it to his 18th birthday, like then they kind of let their guard down. Maybe
exactly. So that's terrible, and it happened. She obviously still grieves the loss of her son, but she does now look at death obviously completely differently.
Oh, I guess that's true. You'd be like, well, he's going to a pretty chill place.
Yeah, like I saw it. There's flowers.
It's like a big white dome. It looked nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're still grieving the physical loss, but she now is convinced that the soul or consciousness doesn't reside in the brain, but does live on. Wow. Because she went there.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Dr. Mary Neal lives in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and still enjoys everything outdoorsy and being in nature.
Kayaks?
Bitch, I said she still even kayaks.
Girl, you pushing it. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, so that is the crazy story of Dr. Mary Neal's near-death experience.
I'm going to give you a little round of applause. That was great.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I loved that. That was a great story.
I hope you had a good time.
Do more of those. I loved it.
Okay, I'll try and like look up other ones I want to do.
It's something that I've researched on my own before where I'm just like, I just want to know, like, I've heard some of these, because every once in a while you're like, what does happen after you die?
Right. And of course, like a lot of people just say like the brain dies and brain does things. And so it's just your brain dying that gives you these hallucinations or things.
Yes, I've heard that.
Or sometimes like drugs if you're in the hospital, but clearly she wasn't on any drugs. So that's not the case.
Her story is just extra insane. Like
Extra insane.
Because she was medically dead for like a half an hour. It just, everything about her story is nuts.
It doesn't make any sense. And she's just crazy, crazy woman.
And even if it is just a hallucination, you're medically dead for a half an hour and you remember that happened during it?
Right.
What? That's crazy
and
on its
then
own.
you were still technically able to predict something that you learned during
that's
that.
true.
That kind of like validated her experience. Like, holy shit. They were right.
Yeah, they were right. Ugh.
Ew.
Hate it. Love it.
Love it, but hate it.
But I hate it. I love it. But I could be cool with that if that's the afterlife. I could be down for that.
I could be down for that too.
Smell some flowers.
Yeah, run around in flowers, fields of flowers.
And it's like 5 minutes, but it's been 100 years.
Right. Whoa. But yeah, that's it. Tell me what y'all think. If you
Good
think
job.
I'm crazy, if I'm cool. Making it about me.
Can you please DM Shawna and tell her she's cool?
But yeah, isn't that such a wild story? I just love it.
I loved it. Thank you for telling that one.
Thank you.
What else we got to do?
Who's listening to us the most right now?
City of the week. Let's find out. This week, our city of the week is Coventry, Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Hey, guys, you're like way over there.
You're way on the other side.
On your own cute little island.
Thanks for listening. That's awesome.
And Coventry sounds so fancy. Are you fancy there?
We don't know anything.
But, hey, thank you for listening. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Shout out to you, Coventry.
Mm-hmm.
Shauna, have you been listening to anything or watching anything you want to talk about?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so another thing that like I need to pressure you guys to watch if you haven't already, because I need to talk about it and sing it, is all of Bo Burnham's
Oh, yes.
specials. I do not know how I've never heard of this man my entire life.
I honestly don't either.
As the same age as him and also being on YouTube. Well, I
Yeah.
guess I wasn't on YouTube for a very long time.
But his first special is just like legendary.
Yeah. So obviously I noticed that his special Inside was becoming like this huge trending thing on Netflix. And I was like, okay, who is this guy? Whatever. Then my cousin David was like, you need to watch this. I know you'll like it. Do it right now. And I was like, okay, you're converting me. I understand. So then I realized that he had 2 other specials on Netflix. So I started with those first since I just didn't know this guy, which is baffling.
Got to get to know him.
Immediately fall in love with him.
He's amazing.
Literally amazing. He's hilarious.
He's somebody we would have been BFFs with in theater class.
Oh, for sure. And he's so cute. Of course, I'm crushing so hard on him. But, and I've like watched a lot of his like YouTube videos now. Like I'm obsessed. Like I've been watching all of his shit. I also have downloaded the CDs.
Oh my God.
And when I'm doing dishes, I'm singing his songs.
You've gone all the way.
I'm obsessive.
You're like converted to the Church of Bo Burnham.
Exactly. So
Praise him.
I really need you guys to get somewhat on my level.
We have watched it.
You have?
Okay, and I will say, I think I was in kind of a funk when I watched it because it made me feel sad.
It's definitely dark and sad.
Yeah, because, you know, he suffers from mental health, and he was, like, by himself, and he did everything by himself.
Right. It's during the pandemic, the worst year ever.
Yeah, so you kind of get that vibe of, like, that heavy feeling of last year is, like, everything fucking sucks.
Yes.
So go into it. Don't go into it in a weird mood. Don't watch it in a weird mood.
You have to make sure you're having a good day.
Yeah.
That your stomach's full. You have a snack.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then just, yeah, it's a masterpiece though. I found it so relatable in a way. And
All
just
the songs
like
are masterpieces.
Masterpieces and catchy.
The white woman's Instagram made me laugh so hard.
I'm constantly thinking or singing Turning 30.
Turning 30, I felt that so hard because we turned 30 during the pandemic as well. Like, oh God.
Yeah, I wish I had that song when I was actually turning 30 last year.
Yeah, that would have been great. So relatable. But yeah, watch that.
Definitely recommend that. It's my new obsession. Love him. Yeah.
He great. Okay. Well, you'll be proud of me because I finally watched I'll Be Gone in the Dark.
See, okay. I saw that on the board. I'm like, oh, I'm proud of you.
I finally did it. I don't know why it took me so long, but of course it was amazing.
So good.
It really was.
Did you watch all... Okay, so they came out with like another episode
Yeah.
super late.
Yeah.
And I just watched that recently because I binged it very quickly.
I think I still need to finish that one, but he looks like Joseph D'Angelo looks so skinny and like sickly.
Yeah, because they talk about which happened last year, which I also remember watching on like my phone during like while we worked, is like his sentencing and shit. And like, so fascinating.
So current and like,
yes, you're like, we're living through this right now. It's so bonkers.
we lived through that arrest and like it was such big news.
Like, we're going to talk about that when we're like 90. Like, we were alive when they caught the worst serial killer.
That's on the news. Well, I think I didn't watch it for a long time because I knew I was going to be sad about Michelle
Oh, for sure.
McNamara dying. And so I think that's why I held off, because I avoid things that will make me sad.
Sure. Makes sense.
Especially if they're shows. But
Yeah.
I was like, I know it's going to be so good and I owe it to her to watch it.
Right.
Because I did buy her book. So
Oh.
it was really good.
Yeah, because they like use her voice too and like clips of her.
Yeah. And it's
very
just
personal.
so fucking heartbreaking that she didn't get to see his arrest. She was so close.
So close. And it was all of her work that really did it.
Just the fact that she was so close makes me so upset for
So
her.
sad.
I'm like, I hope you can see through dimensions and see that he got caught.
I believe that she knows and she's watching.
So she could be at peace, because damn, she put in a lot of work.
She fucking did it.
Dang.
Wow.
And
yeah,
she
that's
like,
great.
God, having so many nightmares from looking at all that stuff. Like, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, because it like literally took over her life. Like you're obsessed and like you wake up in the middle of the night and you have to type something out. And
She was just like having nightmares and stuff. Like, intense.
And
But
that's
anyway,
that's on HBO.
that's HBO. Yeah.
Yeah. So watch that.
All right. I don't have anything else.
No, me neither.
Let me get out these social medias.
Quickly whip those out.
Here we go. Okay, so we are Anxious and Afraid the Pod on Facebook, our group, and our page. We're also on Instagram and Gmail with that same handle. Sometimes we're on Twitter at AA the Pod. You can support us at patreon.com/anxious and afraid. You get some cool perks, ad-free episodes. You get a release a day early. You get a sticker. You get a shout out. Let's see what else. We also have some fun merch. It's on our website. That's where you can find the link. You can find all of this lovely social media links in our show notes as well, and on our website, which is anxiousandafraid.com. Or you can just support us for free by leaving us a review and a rating. We love that. We'll read it on the show. And yeah, subscribe. Tell your mom. Tell your cousin. Tell your
Keep listening.
friends.
Tell your mom's cousin. Tell your cousin's mom.
Tell your in-laws.
Yeah. Tell your neighbors.
Tell a stranger.
Do Ancestry.com and tell all of the new people you find.
Just create accounts on random forums and just,
Keep giving us reviews.
Create one of those bots that just instantly comments on everything you post. And it'll say, listen, Anxious and Afraid.
spray paint it on public property.
Tag buildings. Okay. But yeah,
Yep.
that's all she wrote.
Yep. So, thanks, y'all. Good night.
Good up and good night. See ya.
Okay, so I got most of this story from Surviving Death on Netflix, Wikipedia.com, drmaryneal.com, the NewYorkPost.com, and episode 4 of the Edifi with Billy Hallowell podcast. Music is by Broke for Free and Matt Edwards, and we're edited by Michael.
Anxious and Afraid is partnered with the Oracle Network.